Coforge Technical 1, 19th Feb 2026. Hi Sachin.
Hi Shrikant.
Yeah.
What should I call you?
Yeah, anything. Fine.
Sorry for the delay. I was in another call.
Yeah, no problem.
Just give me a second. Let me open the resume.
Okay.
Meanwhile, let's start with your introduction.
Yeah.
So I need to find your resume. So you brief me about your experience, what kind of automation tools you have worked, in Tosca, what kind of applications you have automated, and so on.
Okay. So coming to my name, I'm Venu Shrikant. I'm from Vijayawada. Coming to my experience, I have total experience of 5 years 11 months. In that, relevant Tosca automation experience is 3.8 years. Initially, I worked in Chandrasoft company as a manual tester. Later, I joined in People Prime World Limited as a contractor for the client nationwide. Client Cognizant. Client Cognizant. There, I have started working on Tosca automation initially. After that, I was connected as a full-time employee for the Cognizant. There, I have worked like 3.3 years. After that, I worked on S&P Global for 6 months. So there I worked on some PyRF automation tool and manual testing things I have done. So totally coming to Tosca automation, I worked on 3.8 years. In that, I have worked on multiple web applications related to pet insurance. I have like VBQC, MPQC, Legacy QC, these three kind of pet insurance applications. There we insure pets for accidental illness, wellness and hereditary kind of health issues. So these are relevant applications one another. This is for the client nationwide. It is a US based client. So we are working there for mostly MPQC application from scratch onwards we worked there. So we mostly worked on web based automation and API also automation also we did, database testing also we did.
Okay. So how many years of experience you have specially in Tosca?
3.8.
3.8.
Yeah.
Which version of Tosca are you currently working on?
No, I'm an immediate joiner. Last I worked like 2024.2 I think so.
Okay, last you worked on 2024.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you worked in Tosca?
It is like April.
Okay, April 2025.
Yeah.
Can you name few of the best practices in Tosca which you have followed in your projects?
Yeah, first thing we have to do the folder structuring. Here when we are scanning the modules or segregating the application modules or test steps or test cases, we have to keep it in a structured format, and we have to follow naming convention also along with that. And we have to do like most of this while we are doing scanning also we'll identify objects uniquely, right? Mostly we have to use identify by properties also. This is most stable version and reliable because it does not depend on the screen resolution or any image or any offset values like coordinates, anything like that. So it does depends on the attributes and the properties and the values. So this is the most kind of stable identification, and like using the if else loop, if else, while loop, do while loop, these kind of whenever needed we have to use. And we have to use some work state also, like when we are working in work we have to maintain, and we have like some other folder structure to be reviewed and in progress and approved. These kind of folder structure also we have to mention, otherwise we'll get confused with the what we worked already, which is to be approved by the team lead. These kind of things we have to maintain.
Okay. So how are you working on test data in Tosca? So what kind of feature you are using? TCD, TDS?
Yeah, mostly we use a TCD, test case design section. There we create test sheet, and on the test sheet we create like attributes. Under the attributes we create instances. So for every attribute there will be business relevance, yes or no, and a result section. So result section we will use for verifying the part in the test case. So in this way, for the attributes which we created, will have certain instances. Based on the instances, that is the test data, based on the instances we can generate multiple test cases using orthogonal or linear expression. Those kind of combinations we have. And
can you name all the 4 of those? Orthogonal, linear you mentioned, so can you name other 2?
Yeah, pairwise is there. Linear exponential I think someone is there. Orthogonal, linear exponential, pairwise, all combination also we have.
What are the difference of each other, like what it will do? How is it different from each other?
Like number of test cases, all combinations will be have like each and every instance will be used for one test case minimum. Every instance should be used in all combinations. So orthogonal is the most optimal way. It is the medium number of test cases we will get, but with the optimal coverage we will get here. And pairwise is like it will be paid to two attributes. Like if we are having some username and password, but we will have some combination of username and password, right, which are valid. Those kind of pairwise we have. So it is less combinations, but it will not be optimal coverage.
What are classes in TCD?
Yeah, classes are like after we previously created test sheet, which we can similar. It is like that of RTBs. So RTBs how we use for multiple test cases. These also classes. These kind of generic test steps like attributes and instances which we already created, that which can be used for multiple test sheets. We converted them to the classes. Then we can use it for multiple test sheets for generation of the data.
Okay, so let's say I have one reusable test block.
Okay.
Let's say it is for login to application.
Okay.
And I have 5 test cases which I need to build.
Okay.
So I in every 5 test case I need to use this login RTB.
Okay.
But in third test case, I do not want to execute 2 of the steps from login RTB. Okay. But for other 4 test cases, I need to execute all the 5 steps. So how would you do it in Tosca?
Yeah, there we have a concept like conditional RTBs. So here in the condition column we have to provide that business parameters which we created. So based on the condition we set up in that column, it will either include the test steps or it will exclude the test steps. So based on this condition only, it will exclude in that particular third test case. So in the remaining test case, it will be a value, it will be taken from to the RTBs, to the test cases. Hello.
Yeah, okay. So let's say I have to enter a date which is next month's last working day. So what would be the syntax for it? You can write down inside.
Okay.
So next month, last working day.
Okay. Yeah, here for the month last we can increment to the offset by using the next month, but for last working day we have to use the small w there.
Okay.
I know to use the working day, but last working day I'm not sure how to use.
Yeah, this is fine enough, but here it will give you last working day of that month. So for March it is fine, but if it was Feb, so it would give 28th of Feb, which is Saturday, so which would fail.
Okay.
So what you can do for this is take first month first, do
Okay.
plus 2 months. So that will give you April 1st date. Now from that you do minus 1W. So
Okay.
that will give you last working day of previous month. That's it.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, you know the logic, so that
Yeah,
should be
right.
fair enough. Okay. So you have not worked on SAP or CRM applications, right?
No, I worked on web API and database testing using Tosca.
Okay. And mobile application also you have not worked?
No, I didn't work on mobile.
Browser stack. Are you aware of what is browser stack?
Browser stack. No.
Okay. So browser stack is like an application
Okay.
where you can check your Android devices, iOS devices,
Okay.
or Mac, or all the other different types of
Android device.
Windows or other things like
Okay.
OS things in that particular application.
Okay.
Instead of having the particular hardware,
Okay.
like if you need like iOS now, so you need the real device, right? Instead of that, you can have browser stack.
Okay.
There you can define those particular things and you can test that.
It's like an emulator.
It's fine. Yeah, it's kind of an emulator, correct. It's not a mandatory skill for interview. Interview we need only for Tosca skill, but the project requirement is to work on that
Okay.
particular application. So
Yeah, okay,
that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you executing the test cases in your project?
Yeah, distributed execution we have. Like mostly, DEX.
Okay.
There we create a test event, and in the test event we have to drag and drop the available agent machines from the configuration section. So available agent machine based on under the available agent machine, we have to drag and drop the execution list. After running that, during the runtime it will execute the test case in the multiple agent machines parallelly without interfering with one machine with other machine. In this way we can achieve the execution of the regression or any other suits in the less time.
Have you done the configuration of DEX or you just have executed
No,
the test cases?
our admin team will do the configuration once. Later we didn't do any configuration.
What is event monitor in DEX?
Event monitoring, like in particular agent machine, what is happening, like any it will show the progress, like any failed test cases, passed test cases, like in the all the agents which are working, it will show like as a bar, it will show the passed test cases count and the failed test cases count, everything it will be show how they are working, anything failing, or also test case it will also show in that event machine.
Let's say you're working in a web application. Okay. And there is a table.
Okay.
But in table there are multiple columns.
Okay.
Let's say there are like 20 columns. And one of the column is not visible unless or until you scroll it. The scrolling bar is there in
okay.
bottom. You need to scroll it.
Okay.
Then you need to click on that particular column so that it will go to the next page.
Yeah.
or next, like it will give the detail of that particular order or whatever it will be.
Okay.
So how do you perform this scrolling in Tosca?
Yeah, we have something like a scroll option, horizontal or vertical. These things we have based on the offset we provide. It will scroll to the particular position.
Okay. Okay. So let's say you are working on a web table again, same thing.
Okay.
And in the beginning of like a row, each row, there is a checkbox
Okay.
in 0th column.
Okay.
It's in 0th column. So when you are scanning that table, it's not being identified.
Okay.
So how would you select that particular checkbox if it is not being identified in any columns? And if let's say there are 10 rows, or for all the 10 rows, there will be checkbox. You need to select whichever that particular order you want, then you need to continue. So that is how it works.
Yeah. While scanning, if it is not identified, means we have like a full view something option. There we have to select and whether it should consider the that column as a header or not. We have to select check mark that. Then only it will be able to see it. By default, it will come for something like generally tables will have like header row, right? It will identify that one as a header row, but some tables it will like a column. Yeah, first column also some tables will have like a header column and header row. So sometimes it might not able to identify that first column. So in this way, in this situation, we have to select particularly the checkbox, not a header row. If we want to check as a header row, means we can check, but if we want to take it as a data column, means we have to uncheck that.
Even after that, if it doesn't come, then
doesn't come. That is the direct scanning point of view, I think so. But
yeah, let's say the application does not allow you to scan that, even with that particular. Even let's say you will even try with invisible columns, invisible row. Even with that, it is not identified. So how would you proceed with that?
This one way I know, but we can handle them like embedded controls are creating them. But the column is identified.
Embedded column, it will only work if that is being identified.
Yeah.
But that column itself is not identified.
Yeah, that I got it. But one way I know is when we are scanning itself, whether it's considering that column as a header column or data column, that way.
Yeah, that will not work. Let's say in this application that is not working. Then what would you do? You still need to automate it, right?
Yeah. I think we can scan it as an individual element. I think so.
No, it is not identifying at all. So there is an alternative option. I think you might be aware of it if I give you a hint. Click with offset.
Okay. Click on screen also we have standard module based on that you're saying.
No.
Okay, offset means beside control or above control using that offset you're telling that.
Yeah, probably okay. Like this we can use.
Got it.
So on the first row,
yeah, got it.
You can give -5. That will go to that particular one. I mean, -5 is just a random value I give.
But I have a doubt. If we are running in our local machine, it might work. But when we are running in a remote machine, screen resolution might be different, right?
Resolution should be same every time when you run it. So that is also the concept. So main thing about the Tosca script is about the resolution itself, right? So resolution, color, and the zoom, everything should be same. If it is not, then test cases will not work.
Yeah, got it. But mostly we are identifying all the elements based on properties, right? When we are using this offset, screen resolution should be same, right? While we scan should be same while we are executing, then only this will.
Yes. That is the recommended best practice from Tosca as well, case as well.
Okay.
So mainly I think you have only worked on web applications, right?
Web API DB.
Yeah, I mean not the desktop SAPs or
desktop right? I worked, but it like a 3 months. That is a Excel based application we have worked.
Okay. So on most of the application apart from web, So if you are working, if the resolution gets changed in server or different machines, none of the test case will work at all. So in web it will still fine because it sometimes work even if you have different resolution in server.
Yeah.
But it is not recommended at all. So you should have same resolution if you're using 1080 into 1920 in your local, you have to use same thing in your server as well.
Okay.
So everything should be same. Zoom, resolution, color, depth, everything should be same. Otherwise, Tosca does not work.
Got it.
Let's say you're working in a web page and there are 3 fields. Let's say username, then phone number, and there's a button submit. Okay. So you'll enter the username and you'll enter the phone number and you'll click submit. So it will navigate to the next screen. Okay. So in the next screen, there will be one link get generated with that particular username which you enter. Okay. So for one scenario, let's say I'll enter username as Sachin. So in next page there will be link called Sachin generated. Yeah. But let's say I'm running for the next time, I'll give as Venu Shrikant, then Venu Shrikant clicks to generate. So how would you automate this dynamic concept?
Yeah. While we are identifying itself, we have to give it like a generic element for that, because the inner text might be generating like differently every time. So here we can give like a regular expression for that. If it is like a login button, login link, but after logging in it's changing some like venusrikant@gmail.com something, right? Means here we have to give both type of regular expressions. Both we have to give login in the regex, and along with that we have to give a dynamic data like random regex at the rate of gmail.com, which is a stable one. We will keep it, and we can keep it as like a wild character which is dynamic part.
So there is a easier concept for that. So you are entering the data in first page, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I'm entering Sachin. So what if you store it as a buffer and pass this buffer in property for inner text? So
okay, got it.
So that's a simple concept. Why do you have to go to regex and all other things? Because you are entering the value, and same name it will come for that, whatever you are doing.
That I got it, but based on what I said, that element is starting, it was login. After that it is changed to different email ID, right? Both scenarios, that element should be worked, right?
So my question was,
got
there
it.
are 3 fields.
You didn't say that it should be same name. It's like a random value it's generating. So based on the input value we given, we are buffering that value and passing as a inner text for the element which is getting that email ID, right?
Yes. So my question was, in first page there are 3 elements.
Got it.
Username, phone number, and submit button. You'll enter the username. Let's say in first scenario I'll enter username as Sachin. In second scenario I'll enter the username as Venu Shrikant.
Got it.
And when you click submit, new page it will come. In a new page there will be link. Link will always have same name what you passed in username.
Got it.
So it should always identify that particular link. That was the question.
Yeah, got it. When we are entering that value, after that we have to do the cardinality to 0 to n. Then we can buffer it. After buffering this value, we have to pass it as a inner text value for the email which we are verifying there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How do you select multiple rows in a table?
How do you select multiple rows in a table?
So I want to select multiple rows. Okay. So usually when you do click, so it will select that particular row. But what if I want to select multiple rows? So you manually, if you are doing, you will hold the shift key and you will select the second row and third row and so on and so forth. But in automation, how would you do it?
Based on the repetition, we can click on multiple elements.
Yeah, but the table, when you click once,
Okay.
only that particular row gets selected.
Okay.
So manually also, if you are doing, you need to hold Shift key. Then
Okay.
you need to select multiple rows. Then it will select multiple rows. But if you are doing only click,
Okay.
only for that particular row which you are selecting, it will get selected.
Got it. Using
So-
tbox send keys standard module, I think we can control that shift key and repeat that click operation on by increasing the repetition count.
There's an alternative method.
Okay.
How do you select a table row using Tosca? There's a particular action or properties or function, right? What is it?
Yeah, select and constraint we have.
Yeah, so you do select.
Okay.
So if you want to select multiple rows, how would you do? No, I'm not talking about select as an action mode.
Okay.
There's a function called select.
Function.
We'll write like this.
Okay,
And you
got
give
it.
action mode as input. So that will select that particular row.
Okay.
So if you want to select multiple rows, how would you do it? So there is another function called add select.
Okay.
So if you write this, the first one it will be select only. If you want to add multiple rows, for second one you will give add select, and third one if you want to give add select, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So it will select multiple rows.
We didn't use it in our project, so I don't know.
You have worked on API, right?
Yeah, API.
Okay. So how many test scripts you have built in API?
API is like 50, I think so.
Can you explain the process of automation using API?
Yeah, we have a API standalone scanning. For that, we can directly enter the file, or we have to enter the URI. So in this way, when we are entering URI, it will upload all the API messages as a request and responses. So these messages we have to export as a API test cases to a component folder. When we are exporting, these will be created as a separate modules, a request module and response module. Along with that, it will create a test case with both the test steps, like a request test step and a response test step. After that, exporting, here we have to create business parameters for that request and responses. So here, like if you take something like a get call, means we can buffer, we can add that as a business parameter, like endpoint we can do resource, we can do headers, we can do parameters, we can do and API keys also we can pass, authentication keys. Payload we can scan is as a business parameters. Like if we are having multiple elements, means we can select one element and we can click on that add button. It will consider as a multiple elements, we can give it like a generic, like if you are getting 10 elements when in the get call we are using, means so based on the index value we position there, it will go to the particular object and it will verify the data like ID, email, mobile number, these kind of data we can verify. If you want to buffer multiple values, means we can use the result count for the how many number of object we have. Based on that, we use the repetition for the folder section, and we can use the buffer names, like dynamic buffer variable names we have to give, like first name underscore repetition something. If you keep it names, so for the first repetition it will take the variable name as first name 1, for the second repetition first name 2. In this way it will buffer all the values for the multiple objects we are getting in the get call. Post we did, delete, put call we did, patch we did.
What is a pretty print in
yeah, it is
option,
like
guys?
a formatting, like when we are having a clumsy format in the body section, like in the response or request body section, that payload is formatted like indexing, like main object, what I want to say, main element, sub element. In this kind of way it will be indexed properly so that it will be in a readable form, easy for the user. We have something like autofill values when we are buffering those things. If we use autofill values means those buffered values we can be used as a default values for verification, but if we want to change that means we can change it to dynamic values also.
Have you worked on Vision AI engine?
Yeah, I worked on Vision AI. Like when we are facing some issues, like when we are not able to scan some part of the application, like any Excel based application, when I tried, it was not able to scan using the web or UI engine. These kind of engines, I am not able to scan those elements for the check boxes and the text boxes in the Excel based application. There I used Vision AI to identify based on the different algorithm, it will identify those elements. Then only when we are identifying properly and uniquely, only when we will be able to execute that. So we are not able to identify through HTML engine, UAE, Winx also we tried. These all not worked. Only then we tried to use the Vision AI engine for scanning those elements. Hello.
Okay, that is all the questions I have. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, this is what kind of project they're expecting? Only mobile or a web or API? Any particular domain?
Yeah, so the domain is SAP CRM.
Okay.
So ERP application it is.
Okay.
Kind of like e-commerce application you can say.
Okay.
So it's more about customer relationship management
Okay.
application. We have API mobile application, and like I mentioned, they have all the applications tested in browser stack.
Okay.
So we want to test for multiple operating systems and multiple devices. Like
Okay.
it can be Android, it can be iPhone.
Got it.
And we have to check for Mac and Windows as well.
Okay.
So instead of getting like the hard devices, so we are doing it in browser stack.
Okay.
So what we are looking for is like Tosca, as I mentioned. If you have worked on these other things, it is an added advantage. Those are not the criteria for the selection.
Okay.
So as long as you are good in Tosca, that is all matters to us.
Got it.
Any other questions you have?
Oh, CRM. I think that's it.
Just give me a second. I need to take a screenshot.
Sure.
Let me disable my camera. Yeah. One second. Can you go back again?
Yeah, sure.
Take it in full screen. Yeah, fine.
Thank you, Sach.
Okay, so you mentioned last time you worked in Tosca in April, right?
Yeah.
So after that, have you been practicing it hands-on or something?
Yeah. I'm doing. I installed in my personal machine also. I have a trial license. I'm doing that experimenting on web-based applications and APIs and database we are doing.
Okay. So how confident are you to work on like single resource, or have you worked on a team itself so far?
No, so far I worked as a team, but I'm okay with working as an individual person also. I don't have any issues.
Okay, fine. So that is all the questions I have. You mentioned you are an immediate joiner as well, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, fine. So that is all the detail I need for the feedback form. I'll share my feedback with Jyoti, and she will let you know on the results.
Thank you so much, Sach.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Yeah, same to you, Sach.